Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2. Hi, everybody. I'm early because that's how I roll. Looks like it's live. Gonna check one more thing. I'm streaming over at YouTube too, so if you're sick of Facebook and you just wanna... Yes. Hi, everybody. What's going on? It's 7 o'clock on a Friday evening, and I have a Friday whiskey tradition. And look at me tonight. I am mixing my bourbon, and I'm drinking bourbon, not scotch, because you know what? It's Derby, and I'm feeling like it's time to go back to bourbon. I love bourbon. I always have. Like, always have, because my mom let me drink hers when I was little. She mixed it with Diet Coke when she didn't want me to taste it, so I never drank a whole lot. But thank you. I'm waiting for a couple people to hit share. Oh, thank you, Rob. Thank you. The Belladrum Festival has shared it. Gosh, that's one of my favorite festivals in Scotland. Canceled this year, unfortunately, and last year. But I played it the year before, and it was amazing. Adam Brodsky, is that you saying hello? Maker's Mark Ambassador. And this is Bulleit, though. I decided that Maker's doesn't pay me. Bulleit doesn't pay me. Woodford doesn't pay me. I'm basically a bourbon-free agent. So tonight I'm drinking Bulleit, and that's not to say that I am like too good to be an ambassador. Make me the right deal, and I will drink your bourbon, my friends. Make me the right deal, and I'll drink your tequila. But I'm having a Maker's and Ginger because that's what my mom drank. I'm also gonna quickly, don't scroll away, okay? Or put me in the corner, and then boost unavailable. I was gonna try to boost this. Facebook does that really irritating thing where they won't let you pay to get your post sponsored when it's live, but they also won't show it to people. How irritating. So if you're watching this, if you don't want to share because you're embarrassed, then just like comment in the comments, and then I see that I'll see it eventually. But mostly, the more you comment, the more the algorithm likes it. And since this is a public page and not a personal thing, Facebook's like, well. Oh, and what is this? This is me attempting to get tips. So if you scam me, it takes you away from the feed. So, like, don't do it now. But afterward, you're like, ooh, let me tip her real fast. Or do it now. Every time I get a tip, I'm going to, like, yodel or, I don't know. I should have planned that better. But let's start with whiskey in the faucet because why not? Woke up this morning like I do in every song. Went to brush my teeth and saw that there was something wrong. That ain't water in the drain, and let me tell y'all, that's something that I smelled there was pure green alcohol. There's a whiskey in the faucet. I thought I'd lost it with that amber water flowing drop by drop. So grab a mason jar because it's time to stop the ball. Oh Lord, oh please don't ever let it stop. I ran into the kitchen about as fast as I could go, and I checked the sink in there to see if it had whiskey flow. Much to my surprise, it was flowing like a fountain. This must be what they mean by that big rock candy mountain. There's a whiskey in the faucet. Thought I'd lost it with that amber water flowing drop by drop. Grab that mason jar because it's time to start the ball. Lord, don't ever let it stop. I need to change my guitar strings. I need to buy more guitar strings. Here's me begging for tips to change my guitar strings. So I called my friends to spread the news. Before 10 minutes passed, folks I didn't even know, they were holding up a glass. Wild turkey, Lagavulin, Talisker, and Bush The only problem I can see that makes things kind of tricky, you can't take a bath to hide the smell when the pipes flow whiskey. There's a whiskey in the faucet. I thought I'd lost it with that amber water flowing drop by drop. So grab that mason jar because it's time to stop the bar. Lord, don't ever let it stop. Oh Lord, oh please don't ever let it stop. I'm also streaming live over on YouTube. So if you're telling yourself you want to get on off of Facebook, but you're like interested in this show, then go over to Facebook. No, not Facebook. Go over to YouTube and say hi over there. I don't know if anyone ever watches, but I've got the feed going there because I'm experimenting with multiple platforms. I've had a lot of people be like, why are you only ever on Facebook? I hate Facebook. And we all hate Facebook, but we also love Facebook, you know? It's like, what's it like? Someone fill that in for me. It's like stuff that's so bad, like Diet Coke, right? Actually, I hate Diet Coke, but I like that it's diet, I guess. Coke Zero, maybe that's a better way. All right, 10 people watching. That's pretty good. 6,400 people like my page, and Facebook shows it to 10 people. Whatever. I'm going to do some musical saw, primarily because some people are watching over on YouTube, and I have a feeling that my YouTube channel is much more people by musical saw stuff. So I've got the whole setup here. Everything but accordion, because with all my cancer surgeries, I still can't play the accordion just yet, but I will get there. Okay. A little musical saw action happening. Now, let me take this dumb thing up here off. Webcam only. There we go. All right. So, musical saw time. Anybody have a request on the musical saw? I'm making sure I'm not missing comments. It's the hi Astrid, hey Adam, hey Steve. Yay, people are watching. All right, so this is my, actually, since it's just a few of us, I'll tell you this is my saw that, I have one saw where I write all the names of my patrons on there. Thank you. I think everyone watching is already a patron. This saw is, upside down, has been signed by, what? Merci à vous, Steve Naive. And that's Davey and Pete and Elvis Costello. This is a saw I played with him. At least once. I've played with him like 4 or 5 times now. I don't know that I use the same saw every time. However, let's try some musical saw. So, if you're going to play the saw, you have to get a saw. This is just a regular from the hardware store. Point the teeth facing in, bend it over, and then your thumb's on top, and then pull up. It actually really awkwardly twists and hurts your hand, but that's okay. All right, let's do a Scottish song because I had a reason for that. Oh, because it's today's April 16th, which is the anniversary of the Battle of Culloden. Yeah, so that was Loch Lomond on the musical Saw. And I love playing that one for audiences in Scotland because everybody always starts singing along. Facebook also reminded me that 2 years ago today, I was actually at Culloden. I was there on a trip, a whirlwind amazing trip with, it was a tour, but my dad had learned that he had not long to live and decided to jump on the tour. Normally I have a rule about no family on tour. But couldn't say no to that. Ooh, somebody sent stars. Thank you for sending those stars. That actually is helpful. What am I going to sing? You know what? I don't know if Tara's watching. Maybe I'll wait. Tara had requested a John Prine song last time, and I didn't do it, and now I'm going to do it this time. But if she's not watching, then I'm going to wait for her. I'm just doing my first album. Got a new boy I gotta tell you about. He is not my type at all. Nothing like any of the others I've had, but I'm having myself a ball. Time I had a little something different. I'm gonna find me a whole new theme. It probably won't last, so I'm moving fast. He's my future Mr. Used to Be. He's my future Mr. Used to Be. Time I started thinking about me. So he's nice to me, but more than that, we look great together in photographs. And he's just my future Mr. Used to Be. He ain't that smart, but I don't care, because he's got really amazing, really great hair. He's got a good car, he never shows up late. He brings me flowers just to be. So we don't have a job. He lives with his mum, but he works out every day. You've got to see his bum. For once it let me think of my own needs and my future Mr. Used to Be. He's my future Mr. Used to Be. Time I started thinking about me. So he's nice to me and he's genuine. Okay, so he's Republican, but he's just my future Mr. Used to Be. Piano solo time. He's my future Mr. Used to Be. It's time I started thinking about me. So he's weak of mind, but his body is strong, and it's not like he'll be around that long. He's just my future Mr. Used to Be. Yeah, he's just my future Mr. Used to Be. Just kidding. I should do a little light jazz thing sometime. I got a cajon I'm sitting on, so I'm trying not to drum. Anybody want to hear anything? I'm doing this through all these complicated live stream things so I can be on Facebook and the YouTube at the same time, and so I can do a Chiron thing. And thanks Astrid. I see people. Sherry, Steve, everybody's here. Yes, we are all in a codependent relationship with Facebook. It's just so true. It's like, how do we even know what's going on unless we're watching Facebook? But you guys are great. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna play. I thought I was gonna sit down, but I'm not gonna sit down. Oh, look, it's just my boobs. Well, boob and a half. Not quite to full boob yet, but I got boob and a half. Here we go. How about that? Works for me. Anybody else having a whiskey tonight? Or are you having, you know what I had before this was one of those, a Spindrift grapefruit. And then I realized that I wasn't supposed to have grapefruit with my cancer medicine. How come, does anybody know why grapefruit is the thing you can't have? Like, you can't have grapefruit if you're on Prozac or something, and you can't have grapefruit if you're on cholesterol medicine. Like, what is the deal with grapefruit? Somebody answer that for me, please. But if you have to Google it, don't worry about it, because then you're just going to go away, and I want you here. Because you're more fun. Ghost chickens in the sky. That's funny. I have not yet learned that. Ghost chickens, that's hilarious. I know Ghost Riders. I used to do that in my children's classes. 8 people watching. Hi, Judy. I was gonna do. I know a guy who's got a lot to lose. He's a pretty nice fella, kinda confused. He got muscles in his head, ain't never been used. Thinks he owns half of this town. Starts drinking heavy, gets a big red nose, beats his old lady with a rubber hose, takes her out to dinner and he buys her new clothes. The way that the world goes round. That's the way that the world goes around. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes round. Sitting in the bathtub, counting my toes when the radiator broke. Water all froze, got stuck in the ice. Out my clothes, naked as the eyes of a clown. I was crying ice cubes, hoping I'd croak when the sun come through the window and the ice all broke. I stood up and laughed, I thought it was a joke. That's the way that the world goes around. That's the way that the world goes around. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes around. That's the way that the world goes around. You're up one day, the next you're down. It's a half an inch of water and you think you're gonna drown. That's the way that the world goes around. That's the way that the world goes round. Driving down a highway in southern Arkansas, thinking, how many miles must I go till you're gone? Sun is escaping me, but you're keeping pace, even though I'm at least 1,000 miles from your place. Look at all the sights and things I've never seen before, but all I can think is how many days more. Beautiful lake and I'm inspired by the view, but all I want to do is describe it to you. And I thought, if I got away, I might have realized that I was trapped. Now the only place that I want to go is back, and the miles aren't getting any shorter. There's still 24 hours in a day, and you're not getting any closer, and I'm just counting down the miles on this long highway. I spent years making plans to leave, only to find 100 other people just like me. They're all standing around, thinking they should all go home, take a little more vacation from your little time alone. I swear I wasn't like this. No, I'd go away for weeks, I'd leave everything behind, and I'd never call and I'd never blink. But I'm missing you now, I think that's record, this part is a solo by Tim Krekel. If you're a Kentuckian, you know who he is. If you're not a Kentuckian, you probably heard some songs he's written for other people. Anyway. They say to gather rosebuds while you may, and I've picked enough for 100 bouquets, keychains. Time's not slowing down, and I don't want it to slow down. And you're not gonna be around me, and the miles aren't getting any shorter. There's still 24 hours in a day. You're not getting any closer, and I'm just counting down the miles on this long highway. Vicky Cobb is watching. Hi. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to call you out. Astrid has explained the grapefruit situation of medicines. I kind of worry for the grapefruit industry because, like, so many people are now, especially after the last year, on all kinds of meds. Like, none of us can eat grapefruit anymore. What's going to happen? Maybe that's good for the world because grapefruit has to come from a long way, so that actually saves a lot of oil miles if we're not buying grapefruit. So maybe it's a moot point. Thank you for explaining that, Vicky. So funny story, Vicky, that last song, which you may have missed, but I wrote it in your son Guy's bed. Isn't that scandalous? I love to say that, but really, and here's where I laugh because really he was out of town and I was just staying with Liz and they were roommates at the time. So it was nothing, but I like to say that the first time I told Jessica that, she was like, "I'm going to kill you." It was really funny. But anyway, nary a thing. Just a funny joke. Just a funny joke. Man, my guitar strings are bad. Ooh, I need to change them. How about that? I was dancing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see. I introduced him to my darling, and while they were dancing, my friend stole my sweetheart from me. I remember the night and the Tennessee waltz. Only you know how much I have lost. Yes, I lost my little darling the night they were playing the beautiful Tennessee waltz. Ooh, thanks for hanging out. I gotta rearrange my, I'm doing this through a fancy streaming software so I can have chyrons. I'm gonna take this away because I don't like begging for tips. But thank you. I think everyone who's watching is already a Patreon, so I'm not gonna push it too much. But if you're not watching and if you're not a Patreon, if you are watching and you are not a Patreon member, then why don't you join that? I'm going to put the link in right now. You guys can enjoy this view while I type in patreon.com/Bridget Kaelin. I so very, very, very much appreciate people joining up because it's not just the money. It's the proof that people actually give a crap that makes me go, oh yeah, I have to make some art for my Patreon folks. Oh, speaking of art, I'm going to show you guys some of the art I've been working on. Some of this has to go in the mail. I actually just put something in the mail for Vicky yesterday, but here is a portrait I did of somebody. Oh gosh, the glare. Anyway, I did this house portrait, which I kind of love. I was kind of going for a cartoon style. And then I did, and this is some of my favorite. I'm doing distillery prints. I'm going to have to turn these into actual prints. Here is Woodford. And this is my favorite. This is Maker's Mark. They have these the windows are shaped like little Maker's Mark bottles. Love that. Anyway, that's some of the stuff I've been doing, mostly because I can't play. Steve says I change my strings every 5 years with any two. You're funny. Man, I'm gonna do a song. Anybody want to hear anything? Since it's just us as friends, I didn't learn anything new, but I do have a bunch of songs that I know. If you told me to learn something, I didn't yet. I keep having to go to the doctor and stuff, and that makes me tired. But I'm drinking bourbon and ginger ale tonight. Bullet bourbon, not one of the ones I've drawn yet. Yes, out by the mailbox. It's a P.O. box, right? I hope so. I sent it to a P.O. box. And I did it on big paper. I did like a small drawing on big paper, Vicky, because I thought it would look cool that way, because the house was sort of like flattish. And I don't know. I liked all the space around it. So it's 11 by 15. Or 11, I think. 11 by 14, maybe? I don't know. You can cut it down if you want. Oh, thanks, y'all, for the tips and stuff. I kind of want to see if I've got a tip. Hold, please. Hold, please. Because I get all, like, super excited when I get a tip, and then it makes me want to sing more. I got a tip! Oh, my gosh, I got a tip. Yes! Okay. Look how happy I got. Oh, gosh, I got so happy I'm going to sing Paradise. When I was a child. You know, I'm going to do it lower, because I forgot that my voice has changed. Weird thing about having an estrogen-fueled tumor is that they have now given me these pills that I have to stop producing estrogen, so now I'm like a man. When I was a child, my family would travel down to western Kentucky where my parents were born. There's a backwards old town that so often remembered, so many times that my memories are worn. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. I started fast. I got so excited by the tip. Sometimes we travel right down the Green River to the abandoned old prison down by Avery Hill, where the air smelled like steaks and we'd shoot with our pistols. The empty pop bottles is all we would kill. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down by the Green River, where paradise lay? Well, I'm sorry, my son, you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. Then the coal company came with the world's largest shovels. They tortured the timber and they stripped all the land. And they dug for their coal till the land was forsaken and wrote it all off as progress man. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, down the Green River, where paradise lay? And I'm sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. When I die, let my ashes flow down the Green River. Let my soul roll on up to the Rochester Dam. I'll be halfway to heaven with paradise waiting, just 5 miles away from wherever I am. Daddy, won't you take me back to Muhlenberg County, by the Green River, where paradise lay? Well, sorry, my son, but you're too late in asking. Mr. Peabody's coal train has hauled it away. was just thinking I should play more piano. It's just that I'm really in a folk song kind of mood, and that lends itself to the guitar. But I gotta take it easy. I went to physical therapy today, and she was like, "What is wrong with your arms? Why are they so crunchy?" And I was like, "Oh, I've been playing music." She was like, "Yeah, maybe take it easy." So I'm gonna take it easy. Oh, I got a tip. Sorry, I haven't worked in an awful long time, and Kentucky's unemployment is like a disaster. Like somebody hacked the system, and now nobody can log in and request checks. And I went through this 6 months thing where they said I wasn't eligible, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, you're eligible for like $100 a week." So I'm trying. I just want to play. In the meantime, Patreon is my everything, and random Facebook Live shows. Thank you for hanging out with me, y'all. What else can I do? Try out. Not that. You don't need to see my screen. That's boring. What about that? I have a QR code right there. If you point your camera at it, then it'll take you to like my website where you can tip me. How about that? I'm gonna sing. Oh, I got my albums out. Thinking I'd. Do you guys have this one? It's on Spotify and stuff. If you don't have it and you want it, send me a tip and I'll mail you a CD. How about that? Do you even want a CD? Well, I'll do Sparkles Lights. Sparkles lights and cowboy boots, pretending you don't know me. Shaking hands and drinking late, but I'll never be lonely at the end of the night. If you just do this one thing, turn your smile this way. Look at me like that. Give me one look, half a smile, eyes that gleam. It's all I'll ever need. One look, and I'll know it's all for me. I can share you with the crowd and know that I'll survive. The looks upon their faces as you sing about their lives tells me all I need to know and how much they love you too. I don't mind a back row seat 'cause of that small thing you do. You give me one look, half a smile, eyes that gleam. That is all I'll ever need. One look, and I'll know it's all for me. I don't need my own song to know that you love me. The spotlight on your smiling eyes, playing oh so sincerely. And that one look, half a smile, eyes that bleed. That's all I'll ever need. One look, half a smile and eyes that gleam. That's all I'll ever need. One look, and I'll know it's all for me. That sort of sounds like Elton John. I was just doing that going, oh. When are you gonna come down? Just kidding. Maybe another time. Ooh, what's going on? Did I get a tip? Oh no, I just got a phone call. Ha ha ha. We got a tip and a Google alert for Todd Haynes. My son is in a Todd Haynes movie, and when I was waiting for it to come out, I had a Google alert set. So now I get all these random Google alerts about high art film. Have you guys seen Dark Waters? It's not really a, oh, Wayne, hi! It's not really a feel-good film. And it actually caused problems. This morning, Graham and I were he wanted to make crepes, but we threw away all of our, Adam, thank you for the tip, and your comment is hilarious. Anyway, we threw away our Teflon pans after Graham made the movie Dark Waters because, well, anyway, I won't get political. I won't get pontification. We threw away our Teflon, which makes making crepes really difficult. We figured out how to make eggs. You just do it on low heat and are patient. Well, we were trying to make crepes, and Graham was getting really upset because the crepes weren't turning out. They finally did, but each crepe took like 10 or 15 minutes. And normally crepes are like a 2-minute thing, and it's easy. But we actually went out to a local shop and got a carbon steel crepe pan this morning because the cast iron wasn't working for us. And I don't know why I brought that up, but maybe it's the bourbon. I don't drink very often. I only drink when I'm online with you guys. So, bourbon and ginger ale. I know you guys think that I'm all snobby about my bourbon, but I'm not above mixing. I think if you're using good ingredients, you're gonna get a good drink. So I had Bullet bourbon and I mixed it with fancy ginger ale. That Fentimans, ooh, it's delicious. Steve Richards, you're funny. Alright, I did the Tennessee Waltz. This is Kentucky Waltz. Put something pretty on, twirly, and give me 1 minute to grab my red boots. The city's been killing me, no longer fulfilling me. At least that's my latest excuse. So let's take a chance, take a pause for a dance. Your boots look like they need breaking in. Hands on my shoulders, just listen, take hold of the banjos and old violins, and I'll take you home to Kentucky tonight. We'll dance and maybe get lucky tonight, and speak not a minute of trouble or strife. Waltz in Kentucky tonight. Don't need to leave the room, eyes closed and we'll be there together. I got all we need. Social drinker. Songs made of mandolins, bluegrass and good bourbon, playing for just you and me. We'll waltz through blue highways, dance backwards or sideways, make up the words as we go, dreaming of far away back in the bluegrass state moonlight and old Bill Monroe. I'll take you home to Kentucky tonight. We'll dance and maybe get lucky tonight, and we'll speak not a minute of trouble or strife. Waltz in Kentucky tonight. Oh, lady-dum, lady-dum-doo. That reminds me that I'm overdue for a phone call. Somebody called me and asked me to compose some music for a commercial for something Kentucky related. And I want to get started on it. I'm so anxious to just like write music and do something. What else is happening? 14 shares. Oh my goodness. Thank you guys for sharing. Oh, it was all Rob Ellen. Oh, and Debbie Prather. Thank you. Oh, and Ronald Vest. Okay. It was mostly Rob Ellen. He's got like 15 pages. I appreciate that a lot. He is an amazing promoter in Scotland and helping me work on my tour. If I'm ever allowed to leave the country, if we're ever allowed to leave the country, I'm hoping to get to Scotland next May. Let's see. I got some new songs, but I think I'll save that for, you know what I'll do? I'll save my new songs for a Zoom Patreon thing, which I can tell you because literally everybody watching is already a Patreon person. Oh my gosh, I've been doing this 40 minutes. Anything that I haven't played that I should have? Hello, Barbara. I've got the giggles. I'm gonna play the saw again. My kids are in the basement watching Frozen 2. And there's some like really good singing in that. So I keep hearing, except way better than that. Oh, you can't see the saw if I'm not like that. Okay. How about, let's do Over the Rainbow. It's been a while. There we go. My hand gets kind of stuck like that, but I'm double jointed anyway, so that's okay. Woo! I forgot I'm streaming over on YouTube too. I don't even know if anybody's there watching. Oh, John's over there. Look at that. I'm gonna have to learn how to handle multiple streamy situations. I'm gonna sing a piano song. I'm gonna play the piano. Stuff like that. I actually am such a geek about playing classical music. I've been doing Mozart in the mornings. Mozart in the morning. It's like my talk show, you know. Mozart in the morning. Thank you guys for the tips. I'm gonna put this thing back up. Oh, real quick too. I think you guys are all doing that, but hot tip, if you subscribe to my YouTube and follow me on Spotify and share this post, those are all free things you can do that really, really help. The Spotify thing is done, but I have a new record coming out this summer. I'm not sure of the date yet because I'm going to work with a label to have it distributed. But just having followers on Spotify helps it get put on playlists and stuff, which is kind of a pain, but All right. I feel like I do this one a lot, but I really, really like this song. It's been in my head. I heard a slow French waltz coming out of an old town bar. Round the time darkness falls, welcomes the evening. an old friend recalled, swirling and filling the night with the sound of a slow French waltz. The Boulevard Montparnasse, where you and I never strolled, hands that were never clasped, stories we never told. Here in this old gray town, the road less traveled cold, gently it laughs as it tickles the sound of a slow French waltz. Down by the banks of the Seine, Chagall paints his lovers again. Sun blistered pink on the doors of Montmartre. Somebody's singing and breaking your heart with a slow French waltz. So bring me the blood red wine. Romance, it has its faults. So lay your head next to mine. I need your body close. Hold me in case I fall. Surrender the night and your hopes and your fears to a slow French waltz. And there at the footsteps at last, faces come out of the past. And there at the edge of a monochrome sky, a red balloon trembles and crumbles and dies, like a slow French waltz running out of an old town bar. Round the time darkness falls and welcomes the evening star. Something once lost was found, like an old friend recalled, swirling and filling the night with the sound of a slow French, thrilling the night with the sound of a slow French, filling the night with the sound of a slow French waltz. Thanks for hanging out with me, y'all. That is a song. Thank you so much for the tips and the hangout. And let me make sure I've not missed anything incredibly important. Do saws ever need tuning? Nope, not a thing. I put a video of this over on my YouTube, but each saw has different ranges, and the one I like to play mostly is that 26-inch Stanley, and it goes from about B flat to high G, so it's like an octave and a half. And then I've got a 30-inch saw that I call my baritone saw. It's a little lower pitch, but it's got about 2 octaves, and that's useful for things like playing the national anthem and stuff. Hi, Liz. I'm about to pop off, but I had fun. This was delightful. And thanks for dealing with my fun little chirons. Chirons are there, and sometimes I put that thing instead, and that's so fun. So glad you taught me the saw. It's hilarious. You did. You taught me so much. I did. Did you know that my dad actually taught me the saw when I was 8? I had kind of forgotten about that until, I don't know, 10 years ago. He was talking about that with something. That when I brought home the cello from 4th grade, my dad went into the basement. He was like, watch this. And my dad played the saw. Then I didn't play for like 10 more years till I was your roommate. Weird. So it was a family endeavor. Thanks for that, for the support and the love. And oh, thanks. I'm wearing light makeup. Here's a weird thing. I discovered informally that I get more tips when I wear makeup. How dumb is that, huh? Stupid. but it's true. I don't know if I just look like a sick old hag when I'm not wearing it. Maybe it's the screen. You have bragging rights. You brought it back. Otherwise, it was just like a weird childhood memory that I'd repressed. Maybe it was terrible. It was a rusty old nasty saw. Yeah, it's weird. Okay, I'm gonna drink my bourbon and ginger ale, and maybe I'll go on Instagram and see if anybody will give me a tip there. Nobody, okay, you guys don't have to tip me because you guys are always the people who tip me all the time. But if you're watching this and you're not a Patreon member, I would really appreciate it if you just joined up there. That's all. Liz, I'm going to get up. I just want to talk to Liz, but I can just call you.